In Minuet 1, we do something that's a little bit new, but based on old information. We're going to start in the key of G, and that has a C natural and an F sharp. And then we're going to modulate, which is our fancy word for traveling to a new key for part of a piece, but not all of it, to the key of D, which has an F sharp and a C sharp. So the way I like to describe it is C and G are cousins. They're not exactly the same, but they're really close. There's just one note difference. There's a C natural in G, which is your low 2 on the A string, and a C sharp, which is your high 2 on the A string. So the first section of Minuet 1 is all at G's house. And that repeats. And then G takes a little trip over. We travel to the key of D, to D's house. Da da, C sharp, da 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 da. Right there, the visit's home. It's time to go home for supper. So we travel back to G's house, and we have a C natural for the rest of the piece. So that's important to know. So the first two lines, only C naturals. The third and fourth lines, C sharp, and the last two lines are back at G in C natural. The way that this happens is important and sets us up for success for later on in book 1. So here I'm going to play where we go to the key of D, which is the beginning of the third line. Play a C sharp. Still C sharp. Important to know that we still have a G natural low 2 on the E string. C sharp, open, C sharp. Now we have to pop up our 2 because now we go back to G, the house of G, so now I have a C natural. And two things you need to know about those measures. A sharp next to a note lasts until the bar line, the end of the measure. So we have 2 C's in measure 15, and they're both going to be sharp, but only one needs to say sharp because that C sharp will apply until we have that vertical bar line. And the trick here is in measure 15, and this is what you want to practice first, C sharp, A, C sharp, D, lift up your 2, move him down to the 1, and it's very important you do it exactly like that because in the very last piece in the book, we'll use this exact same finger technique. So practice that a bunch. C sharp, A, C sharp, and D. And then C natural. Let's do it again. C sharp, and C natural. And those are called accidentals when they show up and they're not on the over here in the key signature. They just sort of show up next to a note. And I always say it's because they cause accidents. So it might take you a little bit to get that. So here's the part in G, here's the part in D, and then we travel back to G. But how we do it is very important to pop that 2 up so you get a clean set of C natural instead of a slide. What we don't want is, oh yeah, I forgot C natural. So he has to be up in the air so he can land where he needs to.